Hi everyone, and welcome to Weekly Cooking with Becky. Today, the star of our ingredient is CarbQuick. So we are going to be using it as a replacement of flour in our recipe. So this is not going to be a clean keto, strict keto recipe. Just want to give you a heads up from the start. This is going to be totally low carb, lazy keto, dirty keto, all that stuff, but it's not going to be clean. All right, with that said, we are going to be making chocolate chip pumpkin bars. So you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350. You're going to want to line an 8x8 or a 9x9 pan with some parchment paper, and you're going to need to have a wet and a dry bowl. In the dry bowl, you're gonna need your CarbQuick, your brown sugar sweetener of choice, and quite a bit of some pumpkin pie spice. In your wet bowl, you're gonna need your eggs, your vanilla, your pumpkin, your all-natural pumpkin puree. You're not gonna want pumpkin pie filling. You want pumpkin pie puree that's just pumpkin. If you get the filling, you're going to actually end up with sweetener. So make sure when you're buying it, you buy the right one, and softened or liquefied butter, basically melted from the microwave. And then some sort of chip. We use Lily's. Now, in the last couple weeks, I've been getting comments that people are like, recipe please, or I'd like to see the ingredients. Underneath the description, you need to start reading the description, the word more. It'll start, it's like, this is a wonderful recipe, blah, 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 more. And you can't even finish the sentence unless you click on the word more. So it'll start to say, like, have you thought of pots of fall or whatever? Here's a recipe that, more. Click on the word more, it opens the whole thing up. You have to click on the word more. Once you click on the word more and it opens up, the recipe is there. It's usually a link to a recipe, usually. This one is a typed out recipe that will be in there. So you always gotta click on more, and I promise you the recipe will be there. Okay, let's get started. So we have our dry bowl, which has our CarbQuick and our brown sugar swerve, and a rounded tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice, and it has a lot, and that's because we're only using kind of a small amount here. First thing I want to do is mix my dry. So let's just get that all mixed up. Now you can use a blender. You do not have to with this recipe. You can totally mix this entire thing by hand, and I'm always for one less dish. So that's what we're doing. But if you want to, feel free. So I like brown sugar swerve. The main reason I like it is because it packs more like the original brown sugar from back in the day, but use whatever you like. I'm gonna set that off to the side. First things, little trick I learned, take your eggs and literally poke holes in the yolk. It's gonna make for easier mixing. Now that I've started, I'll add in the butter. Okay, so we'll just give that a quick mix. Always break those egg yolks. And it goes pretty quickly. You could use a frother if you liked. Like I said, I'm just using a fork because I'm just trying to do this with less. It's a little bit more arm action. So at this time, I am just gonna take the wet and add it to the dry. Go ahead and get my lovely scraper here. And we're just gonna continue to mix So I'm just gonna tell you what we're gonna do is we're just gonna continue to mix until everything is nice and incorporated. And then I am going to fold in, oops, I'm gonna fold in the Lily's chocolate chips. So let me get everything mixed up and added, and I will be back in just like that. And we'll go ahead and put it in the pan and get it to the oven. Okay, so everything is mixed up and we are now going to transfer. So it is a very, very thick batter, very fluffy batter. And all we do is, I went ahead and sprayed my pan. Truthfully, it's parchment paper. So I know there are people out there that don't spray it, and truthfully, I've done it both ways, y'all. And you know, it peels away from parchment that I say just do what you want to do. I tend to spray just because I'm a worrywart, but you probably don't actually have to. Now, if you're just putting it into a metal pan, absolutely give yourself a spray or a butter or whatever. But if you're using parchment paper like I am, it's a catch-22. Do what makes you happy, I guess I should say, because when you go to store it in a container, you're gonna peel away the parchment paper anyways. So I'll just leave that, my little 2 cents there, and I like doing it. I just think it makes it easier, but at the end of the day, I've baked both ways, and either way, it is going to peel, so, you know. So, I'm using an 8x8. It says 25 to 30 minutes. If you're using a 9x9, lower that cooking time, because you're gonna have lower bars. So it will cook, they'll be about a ½ inch lower, just because you have more spread out area. So you're probably gonna wanna start 20 to 25 minutes. So start checking just a few more minutes earlier. And when the toothpick comes out mostly clean, you're gonna be done. Things that cook in metal tend to stay cooking for just a few more minutes. So a nice firm touch on the top, clean, mostly clean, will be good. So there we go. And there you have it, guys. I don't know how well you, oh, I moved it away. I was looking down the whole time. There you go. So I'm gonna stick it into the oven, and we will be back once they are out and have cooled, and then we'll do our taste test. Tell me that that does not look delicious, guys. Absolutely delicious. So fluffy, so moist. I'm just gonna break a piece off here. I love pumpkin. I don't know what to tell you. That is so good. If you love pumpkin, especially if you like the pumpkin chocolate chip type stuff, you could technically leave out the chocolate chips and it would be like a pumpkin bread. Or you can put this in like I do, and it just has that little kick or flair to it. Guys, these are legit. These are legit. They're great. They're great warm. I can see heating them up with a little dollop of whipped cream, eating them plain. Absolutely wonderful. The calorie count is great. The net carb count is great. It's all gonna be linked in the description. Just click on more. Everything will be there. And I really, really hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you next time. Bye.